Is it dangerous being an equine vet?
Lucky I've not been broken, but I've been badly bruised on multiple occasions.
Is that an official equine vet crash helmet?
This is just my mountain bike helmet, but it's just always in my car. Good boy, good boy. Preventative safety is better than reactive safety.
I'm Kylie Bax, and I'm happy to admit my passion for the thoroughbred racehorse is what gets me up every morning. This week, I'm in the beating heart of New Zealand's horse racing country, a small place called Cambridge.
Across the next 2 episodes, I'm going to meet the dedicated people who are working tirelessly day in and day out to ensure the thoroughbred horse in this region remains at the forefront of equine excellence.
And live upon the land we stand.
This time on Upon the Land We Stand,
So this is where it all happens.
Yeah.
I scrub up for the day at one of New Zealand's most prestigious equine hospitals.
Oh, my goodness.
There's always the surprise, what's around the corner. You don't know what you're going to get.
And we meet one of my very own syndicates.
It brings fellas or ladies closer together. That's what it's all about, eh?
an essential and sometimes critical part of the health and welfare of racehorses is the highest level of veterinary care available.
We're extremely lucky here in this region to have some of the leading equine veterinarians in the country, if not the world, located right at our doorsteps.
One such facility is the highly regarded Waikato Equine Veterinary Centre that offers a comprehensive suite of diagnostic tools coupled with a state-of-the-art equine hospital. I'm on my way to meet one of their directors and leading veterinary surgeon, Dr. Greg Quinn, to experience a day in his life.
My name is Greg Quinn. I'm one of the directors at Waikato Equine Veterinary Centre, based in the heart of the racing district in the Waikato. We look after quite a number of young racehorses, but also breeding stock, the brood mares, the foals. Equine welfare means to me that the horse is free of disease, free of illness, freedom to express normal behaviour. One of the big things in the veterinary world is prevention of disease. It's been able to intervene and improve that side of a horse's welfare. My standard day would start at the stables, doing stable rounds. I'll normally proceed to have a couple of surgeries booked in, chat with the surgery team, what our expectations are of that day, what the procedures we're doing, try and work in the most expedient way possible. We never know what's around the corner and emergencies can arise, so I always have a bit of a buffer there for the unexpected.
Greg!
Hi, Kylie.
How are
Nice to
you?
see you. Very well.
Oh, lovely to see you.
Yeah, welcome to our facility.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Cater for quite a few horses, I can see.
yeah, we're quite lucky to have a facility like this. Like, quite a bit of thought went into the design and aesthetics of it, and we're really proud of what we've achieved. The facility is purpose-built. We've been here since 2016. We've built it in a way that we can house inpatients and outpatients. We have a number of examination rooms where horses will have diagnostic procedures, and we have a dedicated standing surgery suite, a dedicated reproductive examination area.
How many operations do you think you do here every day or every week?
It depends on the time of the year. So this
Okay.
time of the year we're operating at least daily, but it's normally 2 to 3 cases a day. We do about 350 general anaesthetics a year and about 60 or 70 standing procedures. So where we can do procedures with the horse under sedation and minimally invasive techniques, it's much better for the horse. It's all about minimally invasive stuff and things that we can avoid risk. A number of the procedures we do make a big difference to a horse's quality of life and welfare, and it's really nice to see results come through, particularly in an athletic animal. In the case of racehorses, it's really easy to see the ones that you really make a difference to, because they can be very successful when you get a kick out of that. The New Zealand thoroughbred punches above its weight in a lot of regards. They're built tough, they're resilient, quite a long athletic career. From a racing perspective, they're coming into the peak time of racing. The trainers and carers of those horses want to make sure those horses are sound and fit. There's an expectation of being able to reach a diagnosis. It's not always possible. There can be pressure, and sometimes that comes down to managing the expectation of the connections of the horse, whether it be the trainer or the syndicator or the owner, as to what can be achieved.
So you obviously deal with some of the highest quality racehorses, which means you have to have top quality staff.
We're lucky that we have a really good team. We have vets that specialise in certain areas. No longer are the days that you're just an equine vet, you're an equine vet with a special interest. We're well into the breeding season, there's a lot of foals hitting the ground. So there's a lot of intervention and veterinary input at that time of the year and that stage in the development of the thoroughbred.
My name is Alex Leander. My interest and big passion is breeding mares, so reproduction is pretty much most of what I do. We basically call this 50 shades of grey because everything on an ultrasound is either from black to white, so everything in between is grey. Today we're going to do a procedure on a mare, an older mare, that basically has having some trouble getting pregnant. One of the problems we have diagnosed is some cysts in her uterus. We're going to do a procedure where we go in with the scope and have a look inside her uterus, and then we're going to treat those cysts with laser therapy. Basically inside the vagina, and I'm feeling for the cervix.
Once a bit of air gets in there, we can start to see the inside
now it's expanding.
Push itself away.
Right.
And so we can see the first of the, this is one of the cysts here.
Oh, wow.
So it has quite a different colour and appearance to
It's
everything
quite grey,
else.
isn't it? Quite whitey grey.
This is the little opening where the embryo will enter into the uterus at about day 5.5.
Oh my goodness.
This little,
Through there?
little pimple there.
It's pretty spectacular, and I've never seen this before. It's so interesting.
And what we're doing is using the laser energy, cut a hole big enough to drain all the fluid.
So whatever's inside the cyst, does it affect the mare at all?
No, it's just fluid.
So we'll just apply the energy.
Oh my goodness.
You can start to see the fluid leaking out there now. And just using the laser energy to create a bit of heat inside the cyst as well.
Right.
You can see it's like a deflated balloon there.
Yes. Look at that.
So in terms of real size, it would probably be no bigger than a 50-cent piece.
So that just heals itself over time.
In a pretty short space of time, really.
Hope she has a lucky date with a lucky stallion. How successful is this procedure with your experience and knowledge?
One case a couple of years ago, she had inside her uterus, she had a cyst that was 20 centimetres. Same procedure, cut a big hole in it, we flushed her uterus out, and then we bred her 2 days later, and she got a pop. So that was a really good success.
Wonderful result.
I'm really pleased with how it went today. I think, she's got every chance now to go ahead and get pregnant and hopefully produce a baby for next season.
Equine welfare is at the forefront of everyone's mind.
Absolutely. There's always new techniques and new procedures and new developments. Everyone's motivation is to do the right thing for the horse and get that horse recovered and rehabilitated.
Not too far from Cambridge is the heart of New Zealand's thoroughbred racing, Matamata. And situated in this small town is the Matamata Club, which has been at the centre of the community for decades. Many of the members of this popular social club have a passion for the thoroughbred racehorse, and over the years they have created a number of syndicates.
The Matamata Club's been going just over 100 years, 1,200 members. We've got 8-ball, snooker, darts and bowls, and obviously the horse race and TAB.
I do this for the fun, really, but I love hunting.
I was 8 years old when we won the New Zealand Cup. This is the New Zealand Cup that we've won that we get to keep in the Matamata Club, which is really special.
Aspen, Colorado is our best performing and money earner that we have had in the club syndicate so far.
What was the biggest success for that horse?
Don't ask me questions like that.
Syndication's a great idea because it's probably cheaper to be in a number of horses and have a small percentage rather than just have one horse The first horse was a horse called Los Angeles.
The Syndicate's been going for over 10 years now, and everybody's still, the original ones are still in it.
My name's Robbie Williams, but to all my mates and friends, they call me Mouse. I've been a member of the Matamata Club since about 1970, and this is like my second home. The Syndicate is a great idea because it brings fellas or ladies closer together, and there's a knitted group. It's going to make lifetime friends. That's what it's all about, eh?
You get to have fun with your mates and you get to meet incredible people from all across the country. There's no better feeling than going to the races with your mates and being able to celebrate, or, you know, go home and lick your wounds together. We come back for a commissary party at the club. It's just incredible the connections you make, and I'm just so grateful because a lot of my connections now that I have through work and through jumps racing is because of the Matamata Club.
Matamata Racing Club is one of New Zealand's most significant training centres, with over 700 horses on course daily. The Matamata Racing Club have their 3 syndicate horses stabled here at Wexford, one of which is racing at the next Ellerslie Race Day.
I'm Keith Lunn, I'm the Vice President here at the Matamata Club. At the moment, we've got 3 horses. This way we get to go to the races more often. This is Little Bit of Love. He's won 6 races for the Syndicate, won 4 in a row last year.
And it's Little Bit of Love, just keeps on raking up the wins.
What's the total winnings? Have you got any idea how much it is?
It's about 140,000 so far, and hopefully more to come. This one's Prudential, fairly new one, 4-year-old. Had about 3 starts, had a win already.
Prudential for a big win.
This one is Sweet But Psycho, 2 wins.
Sweet But Psycho.
And more to come.
Sweet But Psycho is a horse very close to my heart, as I bred her and she is one of my own syndicate horses.
Oh, good morning.
Hello, team.
And we couldn't have better trainers than the Wexford Stables dynamic duo, Lance O'Sullivan and Andrew Scott.
How many coffees do you guys drink every morning?
Yeah.
You've got 2 in your hand there, Lance.
I get up at 3:35. I don't know what time Andrew gets up.
I'm 1 coffee in front of him, that's all.
There's your mare walking.
Isn't she beautiful? Sweet But Psycho. She looks really well.
Yeah, she looks really well. She looks great.
Kylie's amazing. She's been in the industry a long time and she knows what it takes to produce a racehorse. We've prepared Sweet But Psycho for this race and she's got the Syndicate behind her. Hopefully she can really step out on the weekend and put in the performance that we really hoped there. We think she'll be pretty hard to beat. She's flying, Lance.
Yeah, she's hard to beat. If she doesn't run well, we'll be disappointed. But no, she should. You know, and like looking through the field, yeah, she should beat them. Find out.
Good, yeah, we sure will.
Look, the New Zealand thoroughbred, they're pretty tough, they're pretty durable. To give them the best life, the horse has to be happy. We're so fortunate, you know, if we have a horse with a problem, we have world-class veterinary practice here in Matamata.
And one of those world-class facilities is the Waikato Equine Veterinary Centre, where Dr. Greg Quinn and his team are about to carry out their 2nd surgery of the day on a young colt with a joint abnormality.
Equine surgery is a bit more people-heavy than other veterinary disciplines. In our theatre environment, we have quite a heavy crew. Once the horse is on the table, it's all action stations. We need to be as quick and efficient as we can. The longer the horse is on the table, the more risk there are of potential complications.
So this is where it all happens.
Yeah.
Tell me what we're doing today.
So this is a young thoroughbred that's been identified to have a fragment in his fetlock joint. This horse has a developmental condition where the way the cartilage matures into bone, there's been an interruption of that maturation process. That cartilage is not matured into bone appropriately, so we've been left with an island of detached and diseased cartilage. All surgeries that we do in joints most of the time are through keyhole techniques. The reason we're doing this is to minimise the risk of complications afterwards. So this is pretty much as expected. You can see the little cartilage fragment there.
Yeah.
So just pop a needle in to sort of mark it out. You can see just with minimal movement of the needle, that fragment is bobbling around there.
Yes.
So it's quite loosely attached. So as that horse would come and do work, that fragment will get moved around and dislodged and cause a problem. We're just using the instrument just to gently prise it up.
Wow, it just popped off, didn't it?
Then we just make sure that the surgical site around that fragment is nice and clean, there's no loose bits.
Does it just close over itself?
Yeah, cartilage is a very specialised structure. It's made up of specialised cells called chondrocytes, and they produce basically a goop that holds everything together with collagen. We call that cartilage matrix, and we want to make sure that cartilage matrix is nice and healthy. And that's it. That procedure went really well. The lesions were as we expected. The length of the lesion in the joint was not too extreme, tidied up really nicely. The rest of the joint looked in really good condition. So we'd be really optimistic that this horse will have a great outcome.
Wow, how incredible was that? I'm so lucky to be able to experience that. We have such an incredible medical team here. As an owner, to experience that and to see that is very unique. I'm really lucky. But I don't have time to explain anymore because we're on to our next surgery.
Breeding thoroughbreds is a science. Combining the best bloodlines to produce the highest pedigree in a horse is the goal.
That way slightly once we're in.
So when a top quality broodmare is diagnosed with an ovarian tumour, surgery will hopefully give her a chance to conceive once again.
We have a mare that's presented to a local stud for breeding. During their initial examination and assessment, they found that one of her ovaries looked abnormal. The vet attendants took a blood sample. The blood test and the abnormal ovary appearance combined to give us a diagnosis of something called a granulosa cell tumour. It looks like a honeycomb appearance, so there's lots of little septae and lobula, which are tiny wee cysts within a much bigger structure. So this is quite typical of a granulosa cell tumour.
Right.
It's quite a dramatic thing to do to remove an ovary, but it can all be done.
She's not obviously completely sedated, she's still able to stand.
Yeah, she's under heavy sedation.
Why do you do the standing up and not lying down?
It's safer for the horse.
Safer.
And some of these surgeries are practically easy to perform when things are the right way up rather than upside down. It's generally less bleeding, less complications. Something that we can perform through the flank is a better recovery than it would be through the midline. You don't know what you're going to get. There's always the surprise, what's around the corner is the unknown, and there's always going to be things that you haven't seen before. The excitement and thrill of the job comes from, making a difference on the individual case, but also learning, because you never stop learning.
Wow, it's quite large.
There's our ovary there. See how big it is compared to the other side.
Oh, my goodness. Is it as you expected?
Yeah, I mean, it's big enough. I wouldn't want it any bigger.
Would make it more difficult.
Still may be a little bit big to fit in our retrieval bag, but we'll try. The ovary is quite a sensitive part of the anatomy as well. So we're just pumping local into that ligament, which is called the mesovarium. We've got that anaesthetised. We'll just get ready for the next phase, which is to seal the ovary very carefully. And so this instrument is called a ligature. So this has jaws which has elements on either side of it, and so it passes a current through the jaws of the instrument, which seals the tissues. And then it has a blade, which allows me to cut as well.
Oh my goodness. So you don't just cut it, you actually burn around the...
Yeah, so we seal, we electrosurgically seal it. And it's completely freed from the ovarian pedicle.
Now you have to get it out.
A sterile retrieval bag is required to extract the ovary in one piece.
So we place the bag in and deploy the bag.
Whoa, oh my goodness. Wow.
See if we can place it around.
Oh. Nearly. Oh, there we go. It's in. Well done.
More luck than judgment.
That was quite good.
Hopefully now, this bear's bloodline can continue.
Whoa. So how big do you think the actual ovary
Well, we can...
is?
If you want to put some gloves on, I can pass it to you if you want.
I think I'll give that a miss, thanks, Greg.
I think it went really well. By removing the diseased ovary, this mare should have a normal reproductive future, and would be cautiously optimistic that she'll conceive next time around.
These horses couldn't be in better care than where they are right here. It's just the dedication and the love for these horses is unbelievable. I'm very privileged and lucky to have seen what I've seen and the great care that they have here at Waikato Equine Veterinary Centre.
This time of the year, owners and trainers across the country have been gearing up for the start of the racing calendar.
Here we are at Ellerslie, first Group 1 race day of the season. And I'm off to see my girl, Sweet But Psycho.
Kylie, you've scrubbed up well.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's a little bit chilly today, though.
Wow.
Look at you, Lance.
Oh, I'm freezing.
Is that the lucky tie?
It is.
Is that going to make us win?
Well, we're certainly hoping so. I've had a lot of luck wearing this tie, and I'm very superstitious. Lucky undies, I won't show you those.
No, I don't need to see the under.
Yeah, we'll get the top 4.
She looks good, though. She looks ready.
Amazing,
Yeah.
She's great.
Really good. And look, you know, hopefully today she can really pick up and run home strong, and she's travelled up well, she's nice and calm, and yeah, look, let's hope we really can get the business done.
Well, at this stage, all the work's been done, all the hard work. She looks amazing. Now it's in the hands of our jockey.
Next time on Upon the Land We Stand.
So we're going a nice half mile.
I discover how Wexford Racing Team prepare their horses for the first Group 1 race of the season.
This is it. I've put a lot of work in for this weekend. It's incredibly exciting.
And discover the passion Lance and his family have for the land on which they stand.
It's so important to try and preserve something, because at the end of the day, once it's gone, it's gone.
My brother was called Mouse, and I was going to be Mouse too. But they changed his name to Rat, and I started Mouse. My biggest collect was in Australia. I was over on holiday and picked up 6.5 grand. You don't forget those days, those big ones. I still can't even remember the name of the horse.